Hey folks, welcome back. I hope you're well out there. So I literally just finished shooting a video, which I will leave a card to right here on the topic of reactivity versus proactivity and what defines your life, right? Which of these two processes shaped who you are and the life results that you've gotten. Okay, so in this video, I want to take that idea a little bit deeper, and I want to talk about the importance of not just being defined by how you feel in a given moment, not just living in a reactive state of being defined how you feel in the moment, but rather having a larger overarching intuition that guides your decision-making process and the overall trajectory of where you're going in your life. So let's go ahead and get into it here. So again, this is just another kind of candid, pop on the camera, brain dump kind of video. So bear with me if I ramble a little bit, but I'm going to try to keep it on point and concise for you. So the major idea I want to convey to you here is that one of the major symptoms, and it's something I still deal with myself a little bit, something that defined most of my life. So candid share here, I'm in this boat too. One of the major symptoms we see when people are struggling with trauma and trauma recovery and dysregulated nervous systems, all that fun stuff, is that we are defined more by how we feel in the moment. In other words, we make our life decisions by how we feel in a given moment, right? So whatever your mood is, your emotions, the state of your nervous system, how clear you feel, how much brain fog you feel, how happy you feel, how flat you feel, these things end up shaping what you do in a given day or in a given week or in a given year, right? And I want to offer you the idea to live with a larger time frame and a larger concept than just how do I feel in the moment. This is so, so important. And let me explain why. So you want to start to create an intention for results that you want, experiences you want to have, the kind of life you want to have, the kind of aesthetics you want to live inside of. I don't care what that intention is, but you want to start to create a larger intention for yourself that is your guiding principle that you're aiming towards in general to direct what you do in a given day, in a given moment. When you have this larger intention, it makes it so much easier on those days where you're feeling a bit tired or moody or dysregulated or angsty or dissociated or spaced out to kind of know generally what to do that will continue to direct you in a constructive, positive direction and move you forward towards your goal, right? So if you have this larger intention, you'll generally know, okay, maybe I can't do all the things I want to do today, or maybe my brain's not working great, so blah, 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 but I can do this and this and this and this, and this will continue to push me forward towards what it is that I want in my life, right? A lot of times what happens is that when we're traumatized, that kind of larger context shrinks and we're just into managing ourselves moment to moment to moment. And that then can then become a way of life. And then as that becomes a way of life, we just lose this ability to really do anything constructive. And then we're kind of just running in circles. We're kind of just treading water of managing our state over and over and over. Uh, Obviously, I'd be remiss here on the channel if I didn't add that, you know, the deeper thing you need if you're in that place is to start to regulate your nervous system and know how to proactively resolve the kind of discomfort that is kind of molding your state into these negative experiences, right? These negative states. You want to start to process that dysregulation, regulate yourself, come back to center and know how to do that. So that's a lot of what I'm talking about here on the channel. And, spoiler alert, there will be a link in the description down below for the course that I've made, both the free course and the paid course versions, where you can learn how to regulate yourself and get out of this loop over and over and over of only living in the moment reactively based on how you feel, et cetera, et cetera. I can tell you from firsthand experience that I burned the better part of 20 years in that reactive moment by moment state. And it's one of the things I probably regret most in life, to be honest. I burned my best years that way. I would not recommend that you live your life this way, okay? There's a much better life available to you. All you have to do is learn how to regulate yourself or have this larger intention in place so that you can continue to take constructive action, even if it's small constructive actions, even if you're only capable of a very little bit, create constructive actions based on a larger context that you pursue regularly, right? So this is the power of this larger intention here. It's so, so important because the reality of having a nervous system is you're going to wake up and some days you're going to be tired. Some days you're going to be sad. Some days you're going to be stressed and angsty or angry. Some days you're going to be confused. Some days you're going to be brain foggy. Some days you're going to be, you know, in a funk and you don't know why. That's being a human being, right? So if you're trying to eliminate all of that and burning a bunch of time to try to manage that and kind of wall that off and only feel good all the time, you're going to waste a lot of time that you could be spending progressing and improving and healing and growing and having what you want. So I think it's super important to have this kind of larger context. And that can be whatever you define it to be. You know, for me, it's like general directions. I want, say, this channel and my business to grow, general directions. I want my creative life to grow, general directions. I want my health to grow. And I take action on those things, even if it's small action, no matter how I'm feeling. Right now, the other side of this coin is you'll see a lot in the personal development world. And this is not what I'm saying to you, that you just kind of you know white knuckle your way through it. It's just grind, it's all push, you just don't give a shit about how you feel. And I quite frankly think that that's a really toxic, unhealthy narrative. Okay, I think that that works for a certain level of consciousness, but that level of consciousness, quite frankly, is fairly low. And that model, that way of operating, while hyper masculine and sure effective in a certain degree, also has this kind of real issue of flying in the face of our nervous system, right? So when we're feeling off, generally that's our nervous system communicating to us that something needs regulating. So I think there's a balance here to strike between having this larger intention, continuing to progress forward, continuing to move forward, but also, not ignoring if you need rest, if you need time off, if you're feeling sad and need some support, if you need to regulate yourself, these kinds of things, right? So the other side of the coin, is not just, okay, have this intention, push, ignore how you feel. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can expand or shrink how much you can do based on how you feel, right? And so you can get more done when you're feeling healthy and strong and clear and driven. You maybe get less done when you're not feeling as good. And that gives you room to honor what your nervous system is dealing with or where you're at or what you're feeling, but at the same time doesn't leave you in this problem of feeling kind of stuck and stagnating with only managing your state day in and day out, and therefore burning, years and decades like I did. So don't do that. uh, so I hope this is making sense. You want to start to create something important, something clear, something worthwhile to continue to move towards, and then take whatever action you can. Now, if you're really, really in a bad state, again, that's where I would slow down, regulate yourself, right? That's what the course that I made is for. But continue to progress. Don't waste your time. It is the most precious thing you have. Your time and your attention are the most precious things you have. So use them well. Don't get hyper caught up in feeling bad. Keep taking action. Do have a larger vision of what you want to progress towards, a larger intention for yourself, a larger intention for what you want to create or how you want to show up. Take whatever action you can, no matter how small, and keep going. All right. Much love. I'll talk to you guys sometime in a new video. Take care.